Party caucus. And now the process is in the control of a more moderate U.S. Senate. So did the Tea Party win or lose here? Two very outspoken Republican congressmen, leading friendly with the Tea Party, are with me now. Louie Gohmert of Texas and Tim Huelskamp of Kansas. Congressman, thank you both so much for being here. And so I ask you, is it sort of you won the battle, but you lost the wars? Congressman Huelskamp, I'll start with you.
Well, there are a lot of those questions. I never thought the president could have made Obamacare worse, but they've succeeded to do that in recent days. And with their deal, they've exempted big businesses, they've exempted themselves, and now they're going to try to pass something that exempt labor unions. And I think I thought this would be an issue in next year's elections for Democrats, but for Republicans that are helping this out in the Senate, it's going to be a primary issue as well, because Obamacare is not supported.
Wait, but let me just interrupt you, sir. I understand, and yep. I mean, I think the viewers are well up to speed on the problems with Obamacare. But the question is, I mean, tonight we're talking about strategy and whether it failed, because I get what you were trying to do, the viewers get what you were trying to do, take a principled stand. But the question is whether you hurt the Republican Party and the American people are now going to wind up with, a deficit. I mean, the credit card's going to get raised, the debt limit is going to get raised, the government's going to resume, the funding's going to resume with no conditions. That's what Harry Reid wanted.
Well, Megyn, the deal that we were offered today would have done all those things, with the Republicans being the ones promoting that through the House, raise the debt ceiling, another $300 billion, let Obamacare kick in on January 1st, and that's what. No, we oppose Obamacare. We oppose these exemptions. Let's pass something pretty simple. But I tell you, we do not have help from any Senate Republicans, and they're working together with Harry Reid now to continue with implementation of Obamacare.
Representative Gohmert, what do you make of it? I mean, was it just, even knowing that the end result you'd wind up with, the American people would wind up, was worse to you than what you were pushing for, why did you feel it was nonetheless worth pushing for?
Megyn, there's no statute of limitations on doing what's right. And I heard Britt talking about, we were bothered by the march of the progressive left or whatever. But the fact is, when Nancy Pelosi had all those children gather around her, they were supposed to be less than 12. Even today, they're not of legal consent age. And so what we have done is we have stolen from those children. We went from $160 billion deficit spending in Bush's last year to $1.6 trillion the following year, stealing from those children, but we legalized it, and Obama took away the right to choose doctor, right to decide what treatments. And so we said the least we can do is say, all right, Mr. President, you illegally told businesses we would waive the mandatory requirement for them. All we're asking, and I was emailing right before, I don't think all is lost if we have leaders that will stand up and do the right thing. All right, we can raise the debt ceiling, extend the CR, except force the Senate to take this vote, that we will suspend the individual mandate as the president illegally did for businesses, and force them to take a vote. Megyn, how is it right for Harry Reid to say no, 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 no on all our bills, including the one that just said appoint conferees, negotiators? I mean, he wouldn't even do that.
When I listen to you,
let's make them take a vote.
Let me ask you this, because when I listen to both of you, I feel your frustration. I mean, it just sounds like you've had it, much like Senator Cruz, and you don't really care if you take a hit politically or if you get bad press by those who say, oh, you've divided the Republican Party. Your position seems to be, we had to take a stand.
Well, Megyn, what I hear from folks who may not like our position in the chattering class in Washington, D.C. continues to push back. It's the folks that are already exempted. Big businesses are saying, well, why do you care about Obamacare? We got taken care of. Unions are going to say the same thing come tomorrow. But at the end of the day, the rest of America, we're on our own. And all we're asking is, you know what? If it's good enough for America, it should be good enough for the rest of them.
But you heard Britt Hume's point. You heard Britt Hume's point, which was, why not just stay out of it? If Obamacare is imploding, stay out of it. Let it implode. Then you guys going into 2014 make the case to the American people.
I know that's one contention. I know that's one contention. But if Ted doesn't spin the filibuster, if we don't make this the focus, we had already heard what was coming. As soon as we got beyond bond this summer, we were going to have an amnesty bill come to the floor. That's what we would have been talking about, and that's where the pivot would have been if we had not focused America on Obamacare. And so I don't think it's too late, and I think that we could force the Senate. But to do that, you got to have a real leadership that says, no, Harry Reid, you've told us no, 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 and not made a counteroffer over and over.
Yep.
So here is our offer.
I got to go.
All we're asking is treat individuals fairly. Vote on it.
I got to ask you
Make your people vote, and then we'll take up your offer after that.
Before I go, if the Senate passes this deal and it comes back to the House and Speaker Boehner allows it to go to the floor and it passes with all Democrats and some more moderate Republican support, do you believe Speaker Boehner's speakership is over? Mr. Gohmert, you first, quickly.
I've heard so many people say that if Speaker Boehner does this, that, or the other, he's over, he's out. And if you remember, was the only one that nominated somebody else last November, and was by myself. In January we had 13. I'd be surprised to see enough stand up.
Representative Hillscamp?
Yeah.
I'll finish with you quickly.
I do doubt that would happen, but at the end of the day, there's a political reality for red state Democrats and Republicans who at home say they're opposed to Obamacare, and then today are negotiating to extend it on probably in permanency, and that's not good enough. America needs better, and we need to do something about the long-term debt and deficits, particularly because Obamacare will blow the deficit up even more.
And that is just not even on the table. Nobody's even discussing, in particular, entitlement spending. Not for now. I got to go, gentlemen. You're good to come on.
On the deficit, we have a president that was threatening to default when the money was there. That had to be in Fitch's calculations.
Thank you so much, sir.